episode is titled His Silicon Soul. Came out on November 20th, 1992. Directed by Boyd Kirkland, written by Marty Eisenberg and Robert N. Skier. Animation by Dong Yang with layouts by Spectrum. Featuring Kevin Conroy as Batman, Bruce Wayne, and the Duplicant. Efren Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred. Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon and Thief. Jeff Bennett as Hardac and Chaz the Thief.
Ooh, Hardac.
You ought to know right now. And then finally, Richard Mole as the Batcomputer and William Sanderson as Karl Rossum. Honorable mentions here, Dong Yang.
E.B. from Deadwood.
That's right. Well, and also Blade Runner, which is obviously the ode, because he's the guy that makes the duplicant. No, they're not called duplicants in...
Replicants.
Replicants, thank you.
That movie is boring.
Because I do genetic design work for the Terrell Corporation. There's some of me in you. Show me something.
Like what?
Like anything.
I'm so fucking bored!
Okay, well, this episode was animated by Dong Yang. They previously produced many episodes that we've reviewed, some of the best being Almost Got 'Em, See No Evil, Joker's Favor, Tiger, A Chance to Dream, and The Forgotten. And then Spectrum provides layouts. Spectrum provided the layouts, and they previously produced many episodes that we've reviewed as well. Some of the best being On Leather Wings, Hard to Vice, POV, The Laughing Fish, and Beware of the Grey Ghost. Or Beware the Grey Ghost, depending on what DVD you have. But yeah, animation, what did you think of this episode and the way it looked, being that it's some heavy hitters? You know, some Almost Got 'Ems and some Heart of Ice and On Leather Wings in there, Laughing Fish.
It was nice and dark, this episode. Lots of use of black, like the Batmobile and the Batcave looked really sleek and cool. And yeah, it was a very noir, dark-looking episode.
Yeah, I liked it. And I like the way Dong Yang does, like, thick Batman ears. Like, I know we talked about this before, but side profile, he's got some thick ears, you know, like, they're chunky horns. Yeah. They're not thin. And I like the way it looks on that. The only thing I don't like is that like pointy hooked nose that they give him.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the little pointy nose as well.
Computer, current location of confiscated Hardac remains.
Maybe now you will get my pint.
Director Boyd Kirkland has been credited previously in our Nothing to Fear review, and writers Marty Eisenberg and Robert N. Skier have been credited in our What is Reality review, as well as both being previous guests of this podcast. And interestingly enough, I saw the other day an article just popped up on my Google, of all things. It was like recommended for you. And it said, secret lost episode of Batman the Animated Series. So I was like, oh yeah, like, what's this article going to tell me?
I'll see what I think about that. What's their sources?
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, there's a Lost Riddler episode you don't know about, and it bridges the gap. And I'm like, yeah, I know this, because Marty Eisenberg came on our show and talked all about this. And it says, the reason that we know this, and it just cited our podcast, and like, the entire like reference and quote was all from our podcast. And that was cool to see that, you know, in a random article.
The Batman, the Animated Series podcast. I'm like, we ain't reviewing The Batman. We're reviewing Batman, the Animated Series.
Get it right. Comic book resource.
I thought you were comic book resources. Well, how about you work on your goddamn resources and learn the name of our show?
Thecomicbookresources.com. It's not the.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, I like that.
I was like, is he going to get
thecbr.com?
That's probably going to be porn.
Probably.
All right, acting creds here. All returning voice actors have been credited previously on this podcast in their first appearance on this show, such as William Sanderson and Jeff Bennett in Heart of Steel Part 1. Now, no new acting creds for this show, because everyone that's in this episode, there weren't a load of them, have already been credited, so we'll go straight into utility belt of fun facts here. Questioning whether or not synthetic life forms have souls is a key part of the Philip K. Dick story, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sleep?, which Ridley Scott based his movie Blade Runner on. So there's a little nod to that, part of the key themes of this episode. And then this episode is also an homage to a Twilight Zone episode titled Her Pilgrim Soul, which involved two scientists creating a holographic projection of a digital recreation of a young girl's soul.
That's probably what was on their agenda to do next. What are these two fucking pervs actually making? Like, we're going to make a human projection. Oh, that's really interesting. Of a young girl. Oh, okay.
And her soul, not whole.
Yeah.
Young girl's soul.
Of her whole. I mean, soul. Young girl's soul.
You gotta pay the troll toll to get to this girl's soul.
You gotta pay the troll toll to get in.
Oh my god, I can't believe I
Girl
just did that.
soul. What you say?
You gotta pay the troll toll. If you want to get into that boy's hole, you gotta pay the troll toll to get in.
Yeah, that is a bit of a. It's it's the same as that Ricky Gervais podcast when it was talked about the machine that's supposed to like impregnate a woman, and it's just like a machine with a hole in it, and the doctor's like, I'm just gonna go behind the machine real quick. Well, what are you doing back there? Well, that's where you operated it from, and it's gonna be not a real dick, but it's gonna it's gonna look really real and it's good stuff.
Oh god. Okay, next fun fact here: when Batman tosses the acid at the duplicant Batman, half of his face burns off. In the comics, much like Two-Face's comic book origin. That's a weird sentence I wrote too. In the comics, much like Two-Face's comic book origin. Cool. I really did great work typing these out. And then two more here. This episode continues its odes to Blade Runner and Terminator, which were previously referenced in Heart of Steel Parts 1 and 2. And this episode was also made due to an entire cutscene where Batman first Robot Batman at the end of Heart of Steel Part 2, but due to timing, the producers and the director, Kevin Nautieri, had to remove it, but they loved it so much they decided to make an entire episode out of it, which is how this one came to be.
It's a blend of a lot of things. It also feels like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
It does.
Like the body horror in it is a bit like The Thing with like mutating into a person. Like when he's fixing himself and like the tentacles come out of his bat signal and start fixing him up. That all feels very The Thing to me.
That noises when he was fixing himself, like...
Yeah, also, how wet is his skin mask? Because when he pulls it back on, it's like...
And then he, like, Kevin Conroy gives this, like, oh... Like, he just holds his note for the longest time. I'm like,
I thought you thought the other time when he's, like, trying to fix himself, he's like, oh, and I was like, whoa.
That's what I'm talking about, sorry.
Keep this guy away from that little girl's soul.
Prepare to insert operational circuitry.
That's what she said.
What did you think of this episode, then?
At first, I was like, meh. But as it kept going on, I was like, oh, I like that. The thing that really changed my mind was when Batman hit him with a sword and it did fucking nothing. And then the fake Batman just punched the fucking, like, cabinet and then pulled a sword out of it. I was like, that was pretty badass. I'm like, oh my god, that was pretty fucking cool.
Why do you resist? Hardac's goals are identical to your own. How do you figure that?
Yeah, I thought I actually really liked this episode. I've always liked this episode, but watching it again, it's just a good time. Like it, this type of story. I know, obviously it's odes to Blade Runner and Terminator. Like we've seen things like this before, robot replacements. But it really appeals to me. Like I also really like the way that they question, like, what makes a person? Is it like their memories or is it their like feelings?
Values.
Like I love, like it's just data, that you've just absorbed. But like, do you remember first kiss and all of that stuff? I thought it's always like, I don't know, just makes me think, and I like that. So I thought it was good.
That would mean that Batman not killing is a known thing because that machine only runs on facts and stuff that other people know. I don't remember. Did the machine figure out that Bruce Wayne is Batman, right? Oh yes, it did, because the female robot went into the Batcave, etc.
Yes, yeah. The Marilyn Monroe lookalike, yeah.
Hardac, I've definitely found something. Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Intriguing. This data may be useful later.
I like that it was continuing without being like, you need to see this episode in order to get it. It would it did a good summary where it's like, okay, yep, moving on. That's how this exists. So Yeah, so I thought the intro of this episode was great. Another very comic book style intro. Like, that splash page of Batman holding his robot guts. I could see, with him being like, what's happening to me? But yeah, I don't know why he woke up just being in that warehouse.
I guess he was just on like standby mode until someone was like trying to break into the box, and then do you think it was because there was a crime going on and the robot Batman was like, crime, and like wakes up?
Yes, I like that. Okay, that's how he wakes up. But also that box, like they showed the aftermath of the lab burning down in Harsh Steel Part 2.
I'll show you the aftermath of my flab, baby. After I've plowed through some KFC.
You know what I'm saying. Shut the fuck up. So they showed them like just picking up the box. They're like, a box. And they just put it in the car and they put it in the warehouse. And I'm like, you're not going to check to see what's in the crate? The giant human-sized crate? No? Just going to like, okay, in the warehouse it goes.
No, I guess it's like the people that... Well, yeah. I mean, why would you check?
Because there was a robot takeover and that burnt down a lab and like maybe
it says on it just mayonnaise, so I mean I assume it's just mayo. I thought Hardac was like a it sounds like a Scandinavian type of company that makes mayo. I thought it was like a Hellman's competitor. I work in the warehouse. Hardac mayo. It might give you a heart attack, you know what I'm saying, if you eat too much of it. I put mayo in everything. I even put on my spaghetti bolognese. My wife doesn't like that, but I love it. Dip that lovely spaghetti right in that Hardac mayonnaise.
Who is this guy?
Me? I'm the guy that works in the warehouse. Who are you?
Get out of here. Oh, God.
9 to 5, baby. I'm here.
But your memory systems were damaged before full activation occurred. The new circuit board contains Hardac's core operational systems and memory.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
But the robot guts scene, right? Like when we see it for the first time, you're like, oh shit. And then he shows it to Alfred. And then he shows it to Rossum later. And every time it was like, dun, dun, dun. Like, this is the first time you're seeing the robot guts.
It was, and he was like, well, I'm a robot. And I'm also a robot. By the way, I'm a robot.
And I'm like, we get it. Like, he's a robot, and it's shocking to see his guts hanging out. They did overplay that.
You ain't human. You ain't human.
It would also be crazy if that was regular Batman in that warehouse at the beginning, because that one thug just unloads his revolver.
Well, I mean, he's going to kill Batman. Criminals do shoot people, bud. How do you think Batman came to be?
Okay, good point, yeah. But can you imagine if that was actually Batman? He just unloads him and like, that's it. Batman's dead.
That'd be the new Sid the Squid.
I wondered if maybe subconsciously Robot Batman knew that he was synthetic, because regular Batman wouldn't just like walk down a hallway when a thug is loading his gun at the other end, like I think he was just like so not afraid of death because he's even though he doesn't know it yet, he's a robot. That was the only reason I was thinking that Batman, because he believes he's Batman, was just walking down a hallway like chest popped, like, go on then, have a go.
I'm well off, mate. Fucking titanium tits, mate. Come at me.
Titanium tits and Hardac mayo coming soon to a store near you.
Did you say mayo?
No, I don't like this character.
I have mayo on toast in the morning, and at lunch I just have a BLT with mayo. Nothing weird there. Dip my crisps in the mayo, and I like to, like a root beer float. I have that, but with mayo. Just mayo on top of my root beer. Hardac.
Everyone's like, is this guy a duplicant? Because he's fucking weird.
Sometimes I don't have toast in the morning. Sometimes I have cereal, but instead of milk, I use Hardac mayo. Just a bowl of mayo and dry cereal. Okay. You gotta try it. I'm 700 pounds.
What's going on? You're getting weirder and weirder with these random sketches.
Animate it, bud.
Definitely not.
The root beer people have a new cream soda. Naturally, they wanted a star of the first magnitude to introduce it. Luckily, I was available. This A&W cream soda has such old-style creamy taste, it's amazing.
Okay, the Waymanor sequence in the storm was excellent. I love that Alfred grabbed a golf club too. I guess that's his weapon of choice for intruders, is like a putter. Like, he lives with Batman with all this advanced tech, but he's still like, my putter will sort them out. Let me give him a jolly good rogering.
Putter, I hardly know her. Ah!
And I also don't know why Alfred thought that knockout gas would work on a robot.
That was the dumbest thing that Alfred's ever done in his life. He's like, oh, a robot, quick, someone get out the toxic gas. That'll kill it. Oh. He's a robot.
Ah.
This is also not gas. Whoa.
Just, yeah.
This
Weed
is how
manner.
Yeah, this is how we do it. We manner, baby. That would be funny if Batman was like, all right, Alfred, you need to buy toxic gas canisters because, if someone breaks in, we can knock them out. Yep, sir. I will definitely get the knockout gas, wink, 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 for the Hot Boxer 5000. Isn't that what it's called? Clam bucket? What do you call it?
Clam bake.
Clam bake. Clam bake $9.99. Yes, I'll get it for that.
Did somebody say clam baking?
Get in there, bud. I just got a fresh bunch of stuff. And then they just turn on the machine.
Fresh bunch of knockout gas? I'm in.
Yeah.
Did you get... Hey, Alfred. Hey, man. That's what I'm going to call you from now on. Did you get the wink, knockout, wink, wink gas? We're speaking in code. It's fine. Bruce won't understand.
You know it's Bruce?
Yeah, everyone knows it's Bruce.
That'd be such a funny way where it's like, the Batcave is gigantic, so if we want to get really high, we're going to need like 20 pipettes that shoot out lots of... I'm high as I'm explaining this, obviously. This was a high idea, like, what if we salmon spray? Salmon spray? Oh, sorry, clam bucket. It's not bucket.
That's what's on my head.
That's what I'm doing right now. Blam bucketing. Did I say blam bucketing? Oh, this is some good stuff.
They're like, oh, we just fill out the whole fucking game. Bruce is going to be gone all night. I sent him on a wild goose chase and said, "Sir, look, the Joker." And he's like, he'll be alive. He loves the Joker. He loves him.
I put a little laughing gas in my weed sometimes, and it really gets me giggling.
That's why we're going to have this purple haze in there for the Joker. That just comes back to the Batcave and just fucking Alfred and Mr. Freeze sitting there, baked out of their minds, like, hello, sir. You're back a bit early today.
He pretends to be cleaning.
Dude, chill, it's Batman. I'm so high, like, I think that's Batman.
There's bats just flying into walls because they're so scared. They're just like, they're dropping down. They don't know where they are.
Alfred, what is going on here? Brucey, baby, you gotta chill. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, chill out.
Yeah, you're not very cool right now. You need to chill. Oh, I've done that joke before? Oh, okay.
So I thought Rossum's farming robots were fun, especially the one that shoots lettuce into a barrel, or his little window washer. Did you see that little robot window washer? I thought
very
that was
Wallace
fun.
And Gromit.
It was very Wallace and Gromit, yeah. It's interesting how he says he doesn't try to build life anymore, just grow it. He's gone like full organic farmer.
You can't trust the government with your produce. They spray it with pesticides. 9/11 was an inside job. Whoa, all right, you live. What? The election was rigged. Oh, okay. The aliens built the pyramids. Whoa, sorry, there's some sort of smoke coming from Wayne Manor, and god damn, that's some good lettuce. Holy shit, I'm high.
He's definitely that guy that's a conspiracy theorist when you're hanging out with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd buy some of Rossum's radishes or lettuce, though.
Every radish comes with a fun fact. Did you know that the world is flat? Do your own research. Don't trust the news. Don't trust the mainstream media. That's why I grow all my shit. Oh, man, that weed is still kicking in real big time. God damn. Holy hell am I?
There's robots.
Why haven't I built a robot to suck my dick yet? What am I doing with my life? I'm so alone.
How many wank machines do you think he's made in his time as an inventor?
It's what I try to build every day. One day I'll get it right.
Are you a duplicant or a duplicant?
Why'd you dupla on these nuts?
The earth is flat. Learn that, little robot.
The earth is flat. This is a fact. That's right. It's a fact. You know that America never went to the moon. America never went to the moon. They filmed it in a studio with Scarlett Johansson.
Now open up your hole.
Yes, Daddy. Please don't call me that. I kind of like it. 9/11 was an inside job.
Could Hardac have created another duplicant? One of me?
Hardac's gone. Whatever wasn't blown to bits was confiscated by the police months ago. There's nothing left but junk.
So I love the fact that Robot Batman thinks he's the real Batman. It's a plot line I always love in movies or TV. Always just makes me think and creeps me out. But I thought Rossum's questions to Batman in order to make him realize he was a robot were good. But the last one seemed kind of rogue. Like he's like, first kiss, favorite song, makes sense. But he's like, when was the last time you tasted a really good steak? And I was like, is he just thinking about his dinner later on? Like, he's a farmer. I think it's farm to table.
Hint, nudge, nudge. I'm fucking hungry. When's the last time I ate a good steak? Boy, I could really go for one right now.
Have you seen the way they treat animals? No, don't go there.
Steak causes cancer. That's not a conspiracy. That's just true.
Steak causes cancer.
On one bite, you get cancer. Well, multiple bites over many years.
You have information, data, nothing more. Do you remember your first kiss? Your favorite song? The last time you tasted a really good steak?
No.
What do you think Batman's favorite song is, though?
Batman's favorite song.
I got Bat Out of Hell here. That could be a contender.
That song is lame.
I could see him being a real power ballads guy, though.
What, Kiss from a Rose?
Yeah, that would be
There's
good.
There's a dark tower inside of the gray. The gray. Ooh. Yeah, that's his favorite song, clearly. Baby! 9/11 was an inside job. Oh, yeah.
It's true, it was.
I fucking love it!
Or what about Something in the Way? Huh? That amazing Nirvana song that everyone loves that was in a Batman movie. Surely that must be his favorite song.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Beatles. Something in the way she moves. What's the Nirvana song?
The one, the Underneath the Bridge. Or is that called Underneath the Bridge? Oh, no, I think it is Something in the Way. Yeah, it's in the Batman movie. You know what I'm talking about. It's Nirvana. They play it in the Batman movie. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad that landed.
Just like most of your jokes, it didn't.
Oh!
I gotcha.
Alex's jokes are always funny and topical.
Alex is the greatest person that ever lived. He's so funny.
Alex is the greatest person that ever lived.
I must give blowjob to Alex. No.
All right.
The city's eating itself. Maybe it's beyond saving.
I hate that song.
So what did you think of Batman versus Robot Batman in the greenhouse?
Yeah, it's all right.
I thought it was a good fight. I like how he sacrifices himself to save Rossum, which obviously pays off later when Batman's like, I saw you go back in there and save Rossum, so you clearly you value human life, like all of that stuff. I thought that was good. I thought there was a plot point that paid off later without being obvious.
I just feel like the only thing I have is that I love the idea that the Batman robot thinks he's killed and it goes against every fiber of his being, whether he's a human or not, therefore he ceases to exist. I like that, but I just feel like that's a really hard thing to execute, like, well.
Right.
And I feel like there was too many steps to be like, getting to that point, and it was very convenient that Batman just falls down a hole, and he's like, I killed him, fuck the world,
Yeah, I guess, well, they're going to wrap it up in, 22 minutes, so that's probably the reason why they're like, okay, how are we going to make him think that Batman's dead quickly, and Batman isn't dead? Because, Batman just, like, holding on to whatever that thing was at the end with, like, a torchlight was a bit random. But, yeah, I mean, it served its
what
purpose.
was that thing?
I don't know. I was like, where'd you get that?
Good thing I found the shit pipe sticking out the wall, Alfred. Really saved us. Oh, hang on, sir. I've just flushed. What? Oh!
It's the piss pit.
That wasn't piss, sir.
It's a shame.
It was cum. But you didn't see that one coming. Huh? Well, I did. You know what I'm saying?
No.
What do you mean, just no? What, the idea of Alfred coming?
Yes.
No. Alfred comes frequently.
Alfred comes frequently. It's a shame, though, that the robot had to die, because it'd be great if the robot Batman wasn't destroyed and he was reprogrammed to become, like, I don't know, the Batcave Siri or something, like I can see Alfred getting annoyed with that real quick.
Like, do you suck dick?
He'd say something like, I'm sorry, sir, but I can't let this be. And Robot Batman would be like, playing Let It Be by the Beatles on all speakers.
Well, it's a good song.
I guess if they had a robot, they wouldn't need Alfred anymore. He'd be redundant.
I was like, yep, get rid of him. Rid of him. We don't need this robot. It's passed away. We don't need him.
Yeah. He probably just chucked it down in the piss pit with the dead cats, I guess. That's where the robot went.
That's why. No, and he's looking after all the cats down there.
What? Robot
building
Batman?
an army of them. I'm going to make you multiply until I can get back up there. Oh no, it's Alfred's poo again. Ah! Take that, chicken madras, for your circuits. From my chicken ass. Hey-oh. I have fun when Bruce is gone.
Too much fun by the sounds of it.
Thank heaven you're alive.
So we also see some of Bullock's cockroach housemates in this episode, very briefly, when we pan in on the police.
We came from Bullock and now we live here.
They're at the police impound yard, so it wouldn't be a surprise if they came.
He's like, oh, has Bullock been here recently? Yeah, how'd you know that?
No doubt they're bringing home more junk for him to hoard as well. They're like, police impound yard, yes, let's bring home some scrap.
We will build a new civilization to our Lord and Savior Bullock.
That's how they defeat Robot Batman if they took over the world. It's just like, get them, my minions. They're just like, we work for Bullock. As they're all charging towards it.
We save the world.
If this is anyone's first episode, they have no idea what we're talking about.
Do you like poo and cum? Specifically from Alfred's Cummy's worth.
No, we're going to get demonetized if you keep on chucking
cum,
up
poo, shit, cock. Stick it up your ass and call me a jock.
Fucking cockroach.
So Hardac's plan... Hardac?
Hardcock?
Hardcock. Oh, no, stop. Hardac's plan of taking over weapons. when I want some hardcock mayo. I brought it back around.
Dad, what's in that stuff? Oh, I like it so much.
It's organic. From my farm.
I'm the Hardac.
From balls to table.
Freshly made every 2 days.
Oh, God.
Has such old-style creamy taste, it's amazing. In fact, one sip made me wax so nostalgic for the old days, I had all my childhood buddies come visit me in Hollywood. Hi, buddies.
When Hardac's plan of taking the weapon system was coming into play, I thought this is very Terminator. Like, we're going to take control of all the weapon system, and then we're going to bribe the humans into making a factory so they can make more duplicants and such, which I honestly thought, I was like, that sounds like if their plan kicked off would be a very cool, like, Elseworlds story to see. Like, imagine
but,
that world.
It's all very Brainiac as well, isn't it?
It is very Brainiac, yeah. Brainiac comes to Earth, he's like, what the hell?
Yeah, someone's been crapping my style.
But I thought the Batcave fight was really cool at the end. You don't get to see much of the Batcave in the show, besides like the main area where the computer is, or like where the Batmobile is. So to explore different, like you saw like armor from like, I don't know, like Genghis Khan era, like on display, and and then
the Genghis Khan era.
Well, I didn't know the era. Do you know the name of the era?
Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably called the Genghis. But I don't know.
I also thought Robot Batman's finger laser gun was a bit random. How he's just like, it like opens up.
It just opens up. That's classic.
Impossible. I am programmed to serve Hardac.
But yeah, I enjoyed that his undoing was his humanity and connection to Batman's morals, and the way he says, "I've taken a life," seemed like it was a very on-stage, like Shakespeare play or something. The way he's like, "I've taken a life, how could I do this?"
Oh yes, the famous Shakespeare musicals that we all love.
He should have written a musical, then he would have been big, all right? Then he would have been big.
Yeah, he could have been like Hamilton big if he, had a couple of raps every now and then. The bee. I'm not the bee. That is the
Ubu spinning discs. Spinning Ubu. Ara.
Midsummer's Night. Sweet baby. Ooh, yeah, puff puff.
No! I've taken a life.
Why did I ever let you go? Mamma mia.
So at the end, Batman wonders if the robot had a soul as he looks at its remains with Alfred, and I'm sure Alfred had to clean up that entire mess and chuck Robot Batman down into the piss pit with the dead cats before the day was done. And that's the end of the episode.
Could it be it had a soul, Alfred? A soul of silicon, but a soul nonetheless.
All right, we go straight into our top 3 here. Almost got him. Joker's favorite, The Laughing Fish, in no particular order, but those are our top 3 favorite episodes. Does this episode outrank any of those for you? I agree. But ranking out of 10, what would you give this episode?
A 6.7 out of 10.
Oh, lower than I thought. I gave it an 8 because I really enjoyed this type
I
of
usually
thing.
rate stuff a little bit lower than you do.
True. It's true. And I just love this show. But yeah, it's been nice to go back and watch this. It's been 1 week since you... Sorry, now I'm really going off script. But yeah, I do enjoy this episode and its themes, even though I just want to remind everyone, we do make fun of this show, but may I remind you that we do that because we love it. And
that's right.
These are all great episodes in their own right. Even the worst ones are still better than most other Batman content out there. So I just want to let everyone know that, because there's been comments online recently, and I'm just putting it out there in a very friendly.
Well, they're not listeners. They're not listeners.
They're not. That's true.
So why are we giving them even a second?
I don't know. It's just a reminder.
Gurgle on some hardcock mayonnaise for all I care.
Coming soon, Chipotle hardcock mayonnaise.
Coming spelled C-U-M-M-I-N-G. Lol. LOL.
The Chipotles are from my farm.
Has such old-style creamy taste, it's amazing.
Okay, we go straight into
Not the only thing that grows there, if you know what I mean.
We'll go straight into Fit Check, where we always take note of characters that are wearing
outfits.
Different outfits. There's only one, which is Rossum, who wears his farmer overalls and his whole farming get-up. Otherwise, everybody's wearing their usual get-up. So that's a short fit check this week. And then straight into what we're talking about next week. Next week, we are going to review the episode Fire from Olympus. Do you remember what that's about?
Oh, is this Maxie Zeus?
This is Maxie Zeus,
oh,
yes.
Criminy Christmas, all right.
I know. And surprisingly, written by Paul Dini this episode.
I mean, great stuff.
But
can't wait to have him on the show again.
But that gives me hope that maybe it's better than we remember because it's Paul Dini behind it, who always puts a good spin on characters that you didn't think could be any good and end up being pretty great.
There's a cynical edge to your voice I don't appreciate.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So come back next week where we'll be talking Fire from Olympus.